To begin each new day with prayer is to step into a sacred embrace, to ignite the dawn with a flame of peace and strength that radiates from the very presence of God. It is not merely a ritual, a fleeting pause before the rush of life sweeps us away. It is a divine encounter, a moment when the soul lifts its voice to the Creator, finding in Him the courage to face the tempests of trial, the clarity to seek His unerring guidance, and the shield of His boundless protection. Prayer is the breath of faith, the heartbeat of hope, a golden thread weaving us into the tapestry of His eternal love. When we dedicate time to connect with God, truly connect, with hearts laid bare and spirits attuned to His whisper, we anchor ourselves in His promises, trusting in His sovereign direction to lead us through the labyrinth of existence. In this Holy Communion, we open the windows of our souls to welcome the winds of opportunity, to embrace the positive possibilities He has ordained, and to walk boldly into the day with the assurance that we are never alone, never forsaken, but forever held in the palm of His mighty hand. As the first light of morning spills across the earth, golden and gentle, like a promise whispered from heaven, prayer becomes our sanctuary, a haven where peace unfurls its wings, soaring beyond the frail grasp of human understanding. This peace is not a fragile truce with the chaos of the world, it is a deep, abiding calm, a gift from the Prince of Peace Himself, who stills the storms within us with a single word. It equips us with a confidence unshaken by the trials that loom ahead, whether they be mountains of uncertainty, rivers of doubt, or shadows of fear. Through prayer, we are not merely spectators to life's challenges, we become warriors clad in the armor of faith, fortified with a strength that flows from the throne of grace. This spiritual resilience grows with each whispered plea, each moment of surrender, transforming the way we navigate the jagged edges of our days. It steadies our hands when the burdens grow heavy, sharpens our minds when decisions loom large, and lifts our hearts when the weight of the world threatens to crush us. Prayer is more than a bridge to God, it is a lifeline, a sacred conduit through which we seek His guidance and protection for the journey ahead. Imagine standing at the threshold of a new day, the horizon stretching wide before you, a canvas painted with both promise and peril. In that moment, to pray is to invite the architect of all creation to walk beside you, to illuminate the path with His wisdom, to shield you with His might. It is a declaration that we are not sufficient in ourselves, that our strength is but dust, our plans but vapor, yet in Him, we find all we need to face the hours that unfold. When we open our hearts in prayer, we do not merely speak into the void, we commune with the One who knows the number of our days, who sees the end from the beginning, who holds the stars in their courses and our lives in His care. This act of vulnerability, of laying bare our hopes and fears, becomes the bedrock of a day lived with purpose, a day where His grace flows freely, where His protection stands firm, where every step is a testament to His faithfulness. I lift my voice to God, beseeching Him to envelop me and my loved ones in His divine protection, a fortress impregnable against the trials that rise like waves in the sea of life. I plead for His peace to reign within us, a tranquil river washing away the debris of worry, guiding us through the turbulence of daily existence with a strength not our own. I trust in His guidance, unerring, eternal, a compass forged in the fires of His love, to direct our every step, to keep us steadfast on the path He has carved through the wilderness of this world. My prayer is a song of faith, a melody of surrender, rising to the heavens with the conviction that He who formed the mountains and breathed life into dust will not abandon us to the whims of fate. I seek His shelter for our work, that our hands may labor under His blessing, and for our journeys, that our feet may tread safely under His watchful gaze. I yearn for His strength to uphold us in every circumstance, whether the sun shines with favor or the clouds gather with menace, knowing that in His presence, we are secure, in His power, we are invincible. This trust in God's guidance is not a passive hope, it is an active faith, a deliberate turning of the heart toward the One who holds all wisdom. I pray for His light to pierce the fog of indecision, to grant me the discernment to choose wisely when the crossroads of life demand a step forward. I believe with every fiber of my being that He will lead me true, not to paths of ease, perhaps, but to paths of righteousness, where His glory is revealed and my soul is refined. Even when the voices of negativity howl around me, doubts from within, criticisms from without, I resolve to fix my eyes on Him, the author and perfecter of my faith, refusing to be swayed by the clamor of despair. Prayer becomes my shield, my sword, my song, drowning out the discord of the world with the harmony of his promises. In this steadfast devotion, I find not just survival, but triumph, a life lived not in the shadow of fear, but in the radiance of his grace. Prayer is a clarion call to open our lives to the boundless opportunities God lays before us, a courageous step beyond the confines of our comfort into the vastness of his will. It is an act of worship, a bowing of the soul before the one who opens doors no man can shut, who plants seeds of possibility in the soil of our surrender. I cry out to him to fling wide the gates of positive change, to usher in moments of growth, seasons of blessing, encounters that transform the mundane into the miraculous. This is not a plea born of entitlement, but of faith, a faith that trusts his hand to guide, his heart to provide, his voice to call us onward. To pray is to choose faith over sight, to walk by the light of his word rather than the dim glow of what our eyes can perceive. It is to stake our lives on his promises, promises of hope, of renewal, of a future crafted by the one who sees beyond the veil of time. I recall a morning when the weight of life pressed hard against me, a job hanging by a thread, a loved one's health fading, a quiet ache gnawing at my spirit. The dawn broke gray and heavy, mirroring the storm within. Yet, as I knelt in prayer, not with grand words, but with a simple, "Lord, I need you," a peace settled over me, soft as a feather, strong as steel. The day did not unfold as I might have wished, the challenges remained, the uncertainties lingered. But in that sacred moment, I felt his presence, a whisper of grace, a touch of strength, that carried me through. Prayer did not erase the trial, it transformed it into a crucible where faith was forged, where trust was deepened, where I learned that his nearness is greater than any answer I could seek. This commitment to prayer extends beyond myself to those I hold dear, my family, my friends, the circle of souls intertwined with mine. I dedicate my words to their protection, lifting them before God as a shepherd lifts his flock before the dawn. I pray for safety through the hours of the day, whether they labor in the fields of their calling, travel the roads of this earth, or rest beneath the shelter of home. This plea is not born of fear, but of love, a love that mirrors the boundless care of our Heavenly Father, who watches over his children with eyes that never close, a heart that never wavers. In this act of intercession, I see his grace reflected, a grace that binds us together, that covers us with mercy, that promises us a hope unshaken by the storms of life. To begin each day with prayer is to lay a foundation of faith, to build a life not on the shifting sands of circumstance, but on the rock of his unchanging love. It is to declare that no trial is too great, no shadow too dark, no burden too heavy when we stand in the light of his presence. Prayer opens our hearts to his peace, our minds to his wisdom, our lives to his possibilities. It is the key that unlocks the strength we need to face the day, the courage to step into the unknown, the trust to follow where he leads. In every whispered word, in every silent cry, we find him, the God who is near, the God who is mighty, the God who is all we need.